Hey yo guys, what's good, what's happening, and what's going on? First off, my microphone has not been turned on. There, that's better. Off to the office we go. Definitely not a work from home day. 3 in the office, 2 at home. 3 in the office, 2 at home. Maybe if tomorrow carbon tax Carney gets in, we can put in a claim and be like, you know, it'd be more efficient if we just worked from home. That way there we could lower carbon emissions so that places like China and India can pollute more because we'll be taking care of it all over here. But yeah, anyway, enough of that. Friggin' getting close to that time of year where I'm gonna be able to just wake up in the morning and get ready and leave without having to put on a jacket. It's gonna be great. Coach posted some pictures from the new studio, and I guess on Saturday when he posted heading to the studio to paint and do flooring, I guess that was an open invite. It wasn't direct enough for me to pick up as an open invite, so I just took it as a took it as a sign that he was just going to do some renos. I forgot something. I really got to start preparing myself the night before I go to work, back to the office. I also want to hit up Walmart on my way in to grab some coffee pods because I do not have any. So yeah, Jeremy was down from Sudbury. He trains at the Sudbury School of Martial Arts, and soon he'll be opening up his own school. He also teaches at Sudbury School of Martial Arts. So he was down on Thursday showing us a bunch of new stuff, and then I guess they worked on shit all weekend. So right on. Get this thing locked up. But yeah, I figure I didn't grab my bag. I bring a Walmart. Guys, today's already scuffed. Anyway, last night I got into reading about AMD and the fact that I'm getting weird frame problems with rust. Jesus, I got these 2 birds over here. Oh, I had 2 birds over here fighting. Don't know if the mic picked that up, but did I lock my door? Craig, yes I did. Okay, good. Anyway, I was doing some research on that AMD issue where it's frame dipping. I left my doors unlocked on the truck. Great way to get your shit stolen, Adam. Smarten up. Anyway, everything's still in here. Yes. But yeah, I was trying out Radeon Super Resolution. Apparently, what's written on paper that it does is it will run the game at a lower resolution and then the driver will upscale it to the panel size. Kind of like what DLSS does for NVIDIA. All that fun shite. So I figured, okay, well, maybe it'll run it at 1080p and upscale it to 1440 or 720p and upscale it to 1440, generate a few extra frames. And I don't know, I couldn't get it to work right, so I just turned all that shit off. I don't run FSR in Rust because there's no support for it. Even though apparently you can inject it into the game through the driver, I didn't feel like doing that. And I was like, all right, whatever. And I was getting about a good 60, 70 frames. I was like, you know what? As long as it's over 30, it's good enough, right? 60 frames is nice. It's nice and fluid, nice and snappy. But if it works, it works. But then all of a sudden, something happened. The computer hard locked again. And this is with the new 25.4.1 driver that was giving me no problems until I removed it and reinstalled it with the old driver. Now, I don't have HW info on. Could have been the CPU overheating, because sure enough, I rebooted the PC, went into the BIOS, and looked, and the CPU was idling at 60 degrees Celsius, which it should not have been doing at 2% low. So, once again, processor overheating, I'm thinking. Anyway, I was determined last night. I'm like, you know, there's got to be a way that I can use that brand new heatsink. Hey, gas is $1.21 a liter now. Look at that go. I'm like, there's got to be a new way I can use this new heatsink. I do not want to do what every other Acer fanboy did and went out and bought the Noctua, because it's $170 friggin' heatsink. I already have a heatsink. I'm not sure how to take that stock Acer backplate off the motherboard. So then I started doing some digging. See, Acer made their Nitro line. They also made another line dedicated for gaming. Can't remember, Orion, I think it's called. I don't know. I can't remember the name of the dedicated line. Why are we looking at me? We should be looking at the road. They made another dedicated line anyway. Then they have their business line. Yes, Acer has a business line. And guess what? The business line uses the exact same motherboard as the Nitro line. The only difference is what chassis it's sitting in. I was like, well, shit. Same freaking everything. Same processors, same RAM, same little dinky heatsink, and same overheating issues. So, Buddy's like, we're gonna solve the overheating issue. And what does he pull out? A deep cool AC 650 fan. Kind of sort of like the one I have, but smaller, so that it'll actually, you can put the lid on the case, because remember, the Acer cases are smaller than the aftermarket cases you can buy, like a full ATX case. So for that installation, you have to take off the mounting plate. I was correct in saying that the plate is physically glued, but it's not glued to the main board. It's glued to the steel board, that the socket. So now I know how to remove the backing plate from the damn motherboard so that I can install the aftermarket one and we're good to go. Man, this black van is always here. I wonder if he lives in it. He just camps at Walmart's and Canadian Tires. All right, guys, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna run inside, grab my shit, and get to work. It's so much fun to walk through Walmart with a DJI transmitter on your coat. People see it, realize it's a microphone, and then they question if you're filming a YouTube prank video or whatever, and they're looking around everywhere for a camera guy. It's so good. It's so good. But no, I found out, I was talking about that video of, I found a video of a guy modifying an office PC because it was thermal throttling and then crashing out because an Intel CPU can only downclock so far until it'll just thermal lockout, divide by 0 and kill itself. Well, save itself by shutting down. So one of the things though that they suggested to do about this locking up is to update the BIOS on the Acer, which you would think with the Acer's software built in that the Acer updater would say your BIOS is out of date. But that's the only thing it doesn't check. Checks the chipset drivers, checks the friggin' IO, it checks everything, your wireless drivers, your Bluetooth support. One thing it doesn't check is BIOS updates. This computer is running this, when I did a check, there's a BIOS release. The last BIOS for it was in 2024, and it was the A1B1 or some shit like that. I was running the A1A0 BIOS, the factory BIOS from day one. Sorry, the A1A1 is what I had, which gives it gives the old board support, the LGA board support for socket or for 13th generation i-series CPUs, because that's the same motherboard they used with the 12700 and the 12400. So this new the BIOS they put on it gave it support for 13th gen. The BIOS I upgraded to literally said fixes issues with Intel CPUs, and I'm like, what issues? There's no notes on it, so I don't know exactly what the issue ever was. I question if it's the overheating, but even after the BIOS update, she was still sitting at 60 degrees Celsius. So anyway, found a video of a guy who shows how to remove the stock backplate, and I was completely right. It is glued onto it. He literally just left it in the case and started prying at it with a spudge. I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna physically remove the socket. There's 3 bolts holding it in. I'm gonna remove the socket retaining clip, which should drop out the back plate. And when the back plate drops out, I should be able to remove the adhesive without putting stress on the motherboard with a spudge tool, because the PCB on that Acer board is kind of flimsy. It's kind of thin. Really wouldn't take much to break it. Even though I do have the cash right now to run out and buy a new board and a new chip, I kind of don't want to. Rather save that money for a rainy day or for fishing, whatever. But that's probably what I'm going to do tonight, is we're going to extract that old cooler and stab in the new big supercharger cooler. Just after getting all those RGB fans in the deep cool case, I kind of wish the cooler itself had an RGB fan, right? Oh well. I got retaining clips if I wanted to add a secondary fan to it, or just replace both those fans for an RGB fan. Get some more RGB in the case to make it look dorky as frig. Hey guys, I'm almost at work, so as per ritual, I'll talk to you after. Peace out. All right, we're back. Hey, it's after work. It's sunny as frig. Beauty day in the bay. And what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go home and play heatsink removal. At least try to anyway. Because, yeah, if this doesn't work, I'm probably gonna put the 4060 back in the friggin' setup. Or I might try the 3070 just to see if it is a thermal issue. Because theoretically, the 3070 is 220 watts. 9070 is also 220 watts. So theoretically, the TDP, the thermal output, should be pretty damn similar, one would think. So theoretically, the same issue should occur with the 3070 that is occurring with the 9070, right? If it's a thermal issue, that should be the case. If it's a power draw issue, that should also be the case. So we're gonna try that out. But first we'll slam on that supercharger looking beefy ass cooler. See if the CPU temperatures become more realistic, you know, less of a hot plate, more of a, that sounds pretty decent. Less of a hot plate, more of a processor. Because holy crap, 60 degrees idle, like I get it, it's an Intel and they run hot. I remember when we used to say that about AMD. AMD, oh, it's an AMD processor. They're designed to run like flamethrowers. Oh, how the tables have turned. But I do recall hearing something about a BIOS fix that had to go out because of Intel processors overvolting or some shit. Something about them drawing more power than needed, or I don't remember now. But there was some screw up with Intel's processors that caused them to overdraw and therefore overheat. And I'm wondering if that BIOS update I did was that fix. That was the Intel issue with some Intel processors. I wonder if that's what it was. Like, I don't know. I honestly have no idea because Acer doesn't document shit. And this is something that came out last year in April. This was a BIOS fix from last April. So, like, we're talking about a year-old BIOS and they haven't released a new BIOS for that machine in forever because they don't give a shit about it. It should have broke by now and I should have bought another one, right? Because it's a friggin' Acer. They're literally e-waste. You buy them, you use them, you break them, you toss them. That computer should not have seen as much money go into it as it did. The amount of money I spent on that. Luckily, I didn't really, because if I would have bought, well, no, yeah, would have been cheaper just to buy. If I do buy a new board and RAM and processor, I'm going to have to buy another Windows license. Luckily, that'll only cost me $30, but because I'm pretty sure I can't port over my current license from a pre-built to a clone. So we're gonna go home, we're gonna see if we can like extract that heatsink back plate. Now that I know how it's attached, the way the guy did it online was pretty friggin' sketchballs. There's gotta be an easier way, and I'm thinking just by removing the bolts that hold the processor cover on, and then removing the the locking mechanism, and then removing the back plate, and then taking the piece of metal shrouding off that the front plate screws into, because I thought those were weld marks on the back. No, it's literally the screw coming through. Like, I wasn't sure if they'd like just tack welded the thing together or something to make it so you couldn't remove it. But then that video I watched today of the business that I watched this morning of the business Acer computer, I can't remember what that Pro line is. Move over, bud. Holy frig. Anyway, the video I watched of them working on the business computer, it had the exact same setup in the back. And like I said, buddy just pried the plastic bits away with a spudger. I kind of don't feel safe doing that because, yeah, it's just adhesive. But prying against a PCB mainboard is a great way to cause microfractures and the rip data lines, and to basically turn your motherboard into e-waste with one forceful pry. And I'm not exactly a gentle person, so I probably shouldn't be prying against, delicate things. Probably not the best idea, right? One would think. All I know is I'm super thirsty, super mega frickin' thirsty. I could really go for a beverage. I'm gonna go home and mix up a water with some flavorings, drive it in my face hole, and get hydrated, shut down the Acer. CPU should be nice and hot. That thermal paste that I just applied should just flop right off, no big deal. Got a message from a friend today. Hey man, I got a question for you. My cum, and that's all it said. Oh shit, I thought we were getting the turn signal. Why didn't we get the advanced green? For crying out loud. Just don't give us the advanced green. Just skip on that. That's cool. Crying out loud. Normally that's an advanced green. Like, that's so dumb. That's why I always keep my eyes on the tires of the lane of the cars in the other lane. If I see the treads change, I know to hit the brakes because somebody's gonna blow it. But they actually had the right of way, so they weren't gonna blow it there. Anyhoozle. No, I had a friend message us either about, well, it's definitely about a computer, and I just kind of left it there. I just swiped the message off my screen. I'm like, nope, I'm stop, because the guy's computer that I fixed on Saturday or Sunday or whatever the frig day it was, Sunday, that computer there, it's his buddy who was having issues. Chances are he's like, oh, just give Adam a call. He'll figure it out. He did mine. Came over, we hung out for a bit, fixed my computer. Haven't talked to him in 2 frickin' years. You know, only time they call is when they need me now. It's friggin' awesome. Gotta quit being a nice guy. I really gotta quit being a nice guy. Gotta realize there's a reason why nice guys finish last, boys. Because when you're nice, everybody takes advantage of you. And the moment you show that you're no longer useful, they just throw you to the friggin' trash like a used up candy wrapper. You know, stop being nice, start working for myself. And that's what I'm doing today is I want to work on my shit. I don't give a shit about their shit. Their shit can friggin' go take a shit for all I care. Can't get your taxes done? Here's a phone number. Go talk to my accountant. He'll do it for $70. If I have to come to your house to fix your computer, I'm charging you $120. What's the cheapest off? But yeah, gotta quit handing out free work, because it's like when you contact these guys about something, they just ghost you. Like if I have a mechanical question, they just ghost me. So then I end up just saying, screw it. I use my brains, I go research it, over-research it, watch videos on it from many different mechanics. And then once I see that they all do pretty much the same thing, if I see a different technique with one and I like that better, I can follow it better, then I end up doing that. But signal lights are optional. Holy shit, man. This streets are busy with people. It's gonna be like this all freaking summer. Everybody out biking and walking around and just crossing the road, not paying attention to vehicles behind them, riding in the middle of the street. Sorry, you guys can't see that. These bikers just totally cut me off because, hey, they're on bikes. You won't hit me, I'm on a pedal bike. What you don't know might hurt you. Just saying. All right, let's go in the house. Every time I take that camera off the mount, because the gimbal tries to compensate for the, oh no. Thought my neighbor took his liberal sign down. Because the camera tries to compensate for the turning of the body, it ends up hitting the end of the gimbal, and it displays an orange thing saying, the limit has been reached, the limit has been reached. I know the limit has been reached. I can hear the damn gimbal bouncing off the frickin' retention clip. Like, don't have to tell me what I already frickin' know. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. Anyhoozles. Didn't even check the mail, don't even care. Probably just a bunch of shit in there that I don't need. All right, the moment of the truth. Do I still have that video open of Buddy ripping apart that Acer? Probably not, but it doesn't matter because I know exactly what to do because I paid attention during class, unlike some people. So right now it's not too bad, right? We're sitting at 46 and 31. And I got this thing running at max cooling efficiency. It's also pretty warm in this room right now, but that's kind of not bueno. The other day, like I said last night when she crashed out on me, it was a lot hotter. So like I'm doing nothing right now and the temperature's going up. Literally doing nothing. If I move the mouse, will that make the processor go, oh my God, I need 52 degrees. Oh, look at all that animation I'm forced to do. Yeah, it went up a degree. That's awesome. Shut that down. I'm gonna set up my little table because it was actually kind of fun to work on this sun bleach table. I knew I kept this up here for a reason. This isn't the table I recently bought either. This is an old table I had around for, I think I bought it for downstairs to sit at my couch and eat my food. So yeah, on the back plate here, you got boom, boom, shakalaka boom, right? And this is, there's a glue strip here and a glue strip here. Now, I just realized I won't be prying against the thing, so I might be able to get, oh yeah, I can feel it. I can feel it under, oh yeah, I heard some cracking. Probably be easier with two hands. Not a professional, I just play one on YouTube. Now I'm either gonna break this computer completely, but it's already broken, so who gives a shit? And, or, now this is not a knife. This is very, very freaking dull. It's just a spudger, boys. This is exactly what its intended use is, I think. I could be wrong, and I very well am. I've never had to perform surgery to a case like this before. Like worst case scenario, I just don't play video games for a while. It's summertime anyway, I shouldn't be playing video games. Like, I should be outside riding my bike and doing outdoor things. However, I showed you, oh hi, I pressed the button too many times. I showed you the boom baka boom. Get computer around, you have boom shakalaka boom. So theoretically, if I lay this thing on its belly and I clean all the dust away from the solids, as I was saying, if I lay this thing on its belly and I use a Torx or star screw there, and there, I can take that off. That'll drop the back bracket and I can probably do it. But I'm gonna try and do it the other way, the way I have been doing it, by prying at it with anger. The other thing I'm wondering is, that chipset, is that warm? That's like the front side bus right there. Literally making out with the video card's heatsink. I wonder if the FSB is getting hot. Such a poor design. Yeah, anyway, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna deal with that. If you pry it, it will come apart. There it is. There's the old piece of shit bracket that we no longer need until we need it again because we want to put the stock cooler back on and completely add this little pathetic piece of 1-inch aluminum to heat a high-end CPU. The same piece of aluminum that's been used on the Intel i7 920 first gen. Go Acer! Like, honestly, it's you versus the guy she tells you not to worry about. So that's what the new backing plate looks like. Now I just got to put the standoffs in that like hold it there, because if I lay this computer on its back, that's just gonna fall out. I had no idea if you can see this, but the standoffs are in. That back plate is on there solid. I can now lay it on its back. This is what I used to remove the old back plate. You think it's a guitar pick, right? Well, you're kind of sort of right. It's part of the iFixit kit. You're supposed to, like, when you take apart a laptop, you can use those to jam it in the seams to like keep the seams separated while you go around and spudge the shit out of it. Not sure how well you can see these black brackets I installed, but they're a pain in the cock. They have 1, 2, 3 written on them, and you gotta like make sure that the pins on the board go all in the same, otherwise it puts it in cockeyed. I gotta clean off that CPU too. Shit. Alrighty, now the CPU's all clean. The brackets are okay. Next up is we have to install these things on the 4 posts to lock the bracket in place. Why am I not showing you this? Because I don't feel like it, and I don't have a way of doing it, so I'm sorry. Kinda. All right, guys, those brackets just literally thread right on. It's pretty easy. Oh, I got zoom on this camera? Cool, I didn't know that. Oh, is that as far as it goes? Oh no, she goes right in there. Whoa, how do I back it out? That's not what I want to do. How do I back out the zoom? There we go, Jesus Murphy. So yeah, these brackets right up here, it's just like a Phillips head screw, but they're also serrated so you can just do them by hand. They probably don't have to be super tight. They're only holding the whole weight of the heatsink off the, to the back plate. But, you know, enough of my sarcastic bitching. Yeah, we're pretty much ready to install the heatsink. So my big question is, I'm not even gonna take the plastic off the bottom yet. If this is sitting on here, how bad does it crush the RAM? It crushes the RAM. Huh, all right, we got a bit of an issue now. Like, do I gotta take the video card out so I can see? I'm just gonna shove this wire in a fan blade for now, because those screws need to line up. Oh, we're just so perfect. Okay, all right, okay, one time. Now, I'm not exactly sure. I'm guessing I need to take this plastic off, so I'm gonna do that now. Alrighty guys, so we're ready to install the heatsink. Don't worry, I removed the plastic, but I can't seem to find where I put it. So we're gonna go ahead and get some thermal paste in the processor and get this installed. So guys, I just wanted to say, I took the fan off of this. It does come with an extra set of clamps to attach 2 fans. They're 120 millimeters in fan size. I do have 2 glowing red ones over there. I was tempted to hook them both up, one intake, one exhaust. I'm still very tempted to do it. I just don't know how I'll feed it. That's the problem, is I don't have a lot of power outs on this board for fans. And that's why I was kind of hoping that this would have been like a double, right? Where you can plug in a fan and then have 2 fans coming off 1 lead, but it is not. The top shroud just snaps right off. There's like a little bit of a lip here. You just grab it, pop it off, and that exposes this square, and this square is very important because it comes with this screwdriver to fasten it down, which slides down into this square, and I don't know if you can see that, but it gets into the screw at the bottom and allows you to bolt her down. Oh yeah, buddy. So I don't know. Did you see? Did you see my screwdriver penetration? You see that there? So that's why you can take the lid off to do that, because otherwise, how the frig are you gonna reach that tiny little screw hole? Deep cool. For such a cheap unit, you thought of everything, except for one thing. No, you thought of everything. Never mind, I take it back. All right, let me get some thermal paste on the processor. I'm screwing around too much. I wanna get this system up and running, benchmark the living shit out of it, and see if it crashes again. Because if it does, then I'm gonna start to think that gaming with the 9070 may not be the way, and I might just move the 9070 over to the production PC, 3070 over to the gaming PC, and see how that works out for me. Oh, hi. So it's on there. Remember I was gonna put a fan on the back? Yeah. No, there's like zero room. This fan here is literally going to suck all the hot air out of here that gets sucked into here from here. It's such a bad idea. But, however, it'll probably work. I also got heatsink on my pants. That's awesome. Thermal paste, man. It's like that, what's that silver shit that mechanics use? Loctite? Yeah, that stuff just, you get it on your fingers and it just spreads like the blob. So, all right, this is on there. Got to reinstall the fan, reinstall the top shroud, plug in the fan, bolt it all back together, hook it up, and watch it turn into a fireball. Alrighty, this poor Acer loser Nitro Suckface really has gotten the shit kicked out of it. The only original parts in there are the solid state drive, the motherboard, and the processor. We finally got this heatsink on. I forgot to put this part on. It just literally sits on top, and then you just boom, done. Look, pretty. Sorry. There, now pretty. That's the deep cool sign, because it's so deep and cool. All right, so this thing's not moving. It's friggin' on there. I should be able to tilt this upright, get the back panel on, kick it over, make sure fans blow. You would never know this is an Acer loser Nitro Suckface, except for the fact that that hideous freaking green circuit board in the back, eh? Frig sakes. All right, she's buttoned up. I'm gonna have to get some Windex, really, not just for my windows, but from taking this thing apart and putting it back together a bunch of times. This tempered glass cover is obviously a fingerprint magnet. Like, what? Seriously, come on, pull up. I can also install fans down here, but why would I want to? Why would I want to blow hot air up? I could suck hot air down, but that doesn't make sense. What would you guys do with these spots? Would you put fans blowing up from there so I can suck in cool air from the bottom and just spray it all over the video card? I don't know. Because I got two more spots up here that I can put 120s or 140s, whatever. I could also, if I get sick of this thing, because it's too big and junky, I could buy like an AIO cooler, one of those water coolers, and it can go across the top. Apparently you can fit a 360 mil in here. So one of those 120 mil fan jobbies. Jam that up top and then freaking liquid cool a CPU. That's another option. So we'll see how well this deep cool does. Hopefully this is what's causing the problem. Who knows? Maybe the BIOS update that I already did resolve the problem, and this is just a waste of time. No, it's not a waste of time. We've seen the CPU temps. They were atrocious. All right, let's get this thing hooked up and we'll take a look. All right, fire in the hole. Let's see if we can, oh, BIOS is gonna come, whatever. So right now the temperature is 34 degrees Celsius and dropping. Okay, all right, cool. Let's save and exit. Let's get into Windows and see if this brutal modification of ripping shit apart actually made a difference. I need to download some Riva tuner or some program. I gotta look it up, but there's a program that I need so that I can have on-screen display of my CPU and GPU temps while I'm playing video games. Because I kind of sort of maybe want to monitor that just to keep an eye on it. Like I said, if this crashes again while I'm playing Rust, I'm gonna move the 9070 to the editing computer and put the 3070 in here just to see if maybe the 9070 makes a better editing card, because I know a lot of the people that I watch literally bought 9070s, and a few of my friends who do production bought 9070s for the sheer fact that their applications prefer the AMD's setup over the Intel's. Why can't you sync? Because I don't have internet. Guess you forgot to plug in the Ethernet cable. This guy. All right, so right now we're sitting a lot better. 30 degrees and 38 degrees on the CPU, 35 degrees on the CPU. So that's a lot nicer, that's a lot more chill. And I don't know if I have tuning over the CPU right now. I don't know if I can just say, go full tilt like a Peterbilt, if it will. If I turn that down, yeah, I can read the RPMs, but I cannot control what the fan does. It's just gonna do its own little thing. Right on, right on. Now, I wish there was like a Rust demo I could do to see if I can break it, but there is not. Let me look up that software to monitor my temperatures while I'm playing games. All right, so it looks like we're sitting at around 30 degrees, 31. It shows me the P cores and the E cores. This is kind of cool. This is this HW monitor. So this is a HW info, or HW monitor, sorry. And it shows me the temperature of the cores sitting at 31 degrees, 29 degrees. It capped out at 41 degrees. Whatever. I'm gonna move this over to my other monitor, run Rust, and just see what happens. And I think you can do a data log. All right, so far so good. We're sitting at 49 degrees on the cores, well, on the package. 49C on the P cores, 41C on the, and it's jumping around like a flamingo in heat. And as far as the video card goes, we're sitting at 46.6 degrees Celsius, except for the memory. But apparently the memory runs hot on these things, so that's like a selling feature. This might solve my problem, but we'll find out later on. Alrighty guys, I've been playing Rust for about an hour now. I just jumped on this server. I literally just jumped on this server, ran around for a bit, and we collected a bunch of stuff. I'm getting about 92 to 100 frames a second right now, which is not too bad. I was getting about 50 on Bill's server, but he's got so many plugins on there that just kill FPS that it's kind of a pain. And the reason why I was testing on Bill's server is because if you die, who cares? You respawn, you keep all your items, it's fine. But on this PvP server that I've been doing my content on, this one here is pretty good, pretty good. Like playing for an hour, temperatures are holding. We got 49 degrees, 50 degrees, whatever on the CPU, way better than the 75, 80 to 90 that I was getting with the old cooler. And the temperatures on the GPU are holding as well. Like they're well within specs. So my only concern is this right here. 78 degrees on the Intel chipset. This is an exposed die on the motherboard and it is literally cooking. So I don't know what the thermal cutoff for that guy is, but it's been doing that since I bought the Acer. So it might be okay. Or I might want to invest in a tiny little heatsink and stick it on there to see if I can bring that temperature down too. I don't know. Holy, I forgot to turn on my freaking microphone again. Well, I played for a solid 2 hours, got an amazing start on the server. Never crashed. Worked perfectly, flawlessly. Getting anywhere from 90 to 100 frames a second. I'm pretty sure somebody mentioned in previous comments on this video card that your CPU will affect these high-end video cards. The 13400 is not exactly a high-end CPU. It is your budget entry-level gaming CPU. I don't even know if they made the i3 in 13th generation. I never really follow Intel. Is that a thing? Is that a thing? Let's check it out. The i3 13100 is 4 cores, 4 performance cores. Is it multi-thread? Is it 8 threads? Is it like my i7 in both of my i7 computers? Maximum power is 89 watts. Okay, so I take it back. The ultimate budget build is not an i5 13400. Well, for performance reasons, it is. The i5 13400 is by far the best performing budget CPU. Like this thing here is $114, and you can get an i5 13400F for $189. So for like an extra, what, 70 bucks, $75, you can get 10 cores, 6 performance cores, 4 efficient cores. Now, I was considering upgrading the processor on that board, but then I realized like an i7 13700F, 13700F, which is what that board would take. It wouldn't take anything else. I couldn't put like a 13700 in there or a 13900, definitely not a 13900. It consumes way more power than that VRM can handle. But that board did house a 13700 in one of their builds, and the premium Acer Loser Nitro Suck Face, it came with a 4070 and a 13700, which was funny because that build came with that Chicone 500 watt power supply, and somehow it was enough jam to make the machine run. So I'm not quite sure what kind of magical voodoo bullshit Acer pulled off with that one, but congrats on actually making it run. Did it run stable? No. Did the old setup run stable for me? No. Did I make it run fine? Somewhat. But anyway, guys, my camera's about to shit the bed, so I'm going to call it from here. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, click that like button. Any questions, comments, concerns, down below they go. If you notice the time and date and all that bullshit at the beginning is gone, it's because I didn't want to do it anymore. Anyway, thanks for watching. Until next time, guys, live it to win it. Peace the frig out. Sit, stupid, sit. Good dog.